Question. Do you think there should be some sort of a logic behind grocery stockpiling? Let's talk about this. Back in a minute. Hey, this is Jan from New York, and I'd like to help people keep some of their money. Hope that you're doing well. Hope everybody's doing well on this Monday afternoon. There is a logic to everything we do. Now, I want to allude back a minute before we get into the stockpiling thing. Okay. When I was a teacher, and or slash the other times when I worked for corporate America, if you will, I would make sure that on the weekends, I would prepare as much as humanly possible for the Monday through Friday that was ahead. What do you mean prepare? Well, I would have all of my outfits for work pressed in the closet in a logical order so I would avoid chaos in the morning. I don't know about you, but I am not a fan of chaotic mornings. To be honest with you, it could really set the tone for your day. If you can't find your clothes, if you look at the weather and you find out in the wintertime that they're anticipating snow, doesn't it stand to reason, for example, to get your boots ready the night before? This is, to me, common sense logic. Now let's go over to talk about the stockpiling situation with groceries. Here is something that I personally do not understand for the life of me, why some people find it hard to fathom. Okay. Now, I'm not talking about doomsday prepping or anything, and this is not a prepper channel. I'm just talking about common sense logic. Now, sometimes people feel a little overwhelmed when they hear certain things about the possibilities. In life, there are always possibilities. I look at it this way. Why not err on the side of caution, especially when it comes to groceries? I don't know about you, but for the rest of my life, it seems logical to think that I will be probably eating food up to my last day. Just saying. And drinking water, which is absolutely a necessary item to have. Now, when we come to stockpiling, I don't understand the hesitation part. That, well, this could never happen, that could never happen. Well, I don't know about that. Maybe certain things have happened that maybe you may never have thought could happen. This is just life in general. I would just take a look around me and assess and say to myself, did I ever think ever that such and such, whatever could happen? This is in general in life. And the answer is many times, no, I cannot believe that such and such could have happened. But yes, such and such could happen because this is real life. And in real life, whatever the thing is, it could happen. It could be as simple as you just can't get to work because you have the flu for a week, just regular common old flu, and you're knocked out of work for a week and you can't get to the grocery store. Isn't it nice to know that your grocery stockpile is available for you? Or let's say a relative comes over and for whatever the reason, they're having a hard time. And you might decide, well, please help yourself. Have your limitations, of course, because you have to, keep going. I just don't understand the simple problem with the logic of being prepared. And when I say being prepared, I mean even for at least 1 to 2 months of, let's say, grocery preps, for example. Yes, I understand. Many people say, well, you live in the city. That shouldn't be a problem for you. That is not correct because Superstorm Sandy taught me a valuable lesson. And I am so glad that I was prepared. But I was prepared for about 2 weeks. After that, I increased my prep. Let me tell you, what happens when like terrible weather or unforeseen things can happen where deliveries cannot get into the city? The city relies heavily on groceries. So when the city couldn't get the groceries delivered, many people were scratching their head going, huh? The ones that said, oh, I live in the city. I could just go to the grocery store. Well, guess what? That grocery store, when the power was out, for many days, by the way, had to get rid of their groceries, the perishables, and people did not gain access to the grocery store. This is just an example on a smaller scale basis. Now let's take it back to the beginning of when I was teaching and when I, worked outside, for the medical office, for example. I could never ever think of a week of not having all of my stuff prepared. And when I was teaching, I also had to bring my daughter into the city. So she was of school age too. And I had to have all of her stuff prepared. Unthinkable to not have things prepared. So why can't we take that same concept? We could even dial it back to, let's say, when you eat your dinner. I don't know about you, but I personally like to have pretty much a baseline of an idea of the stuff that I'm going to be working with all week long. Sundays are a great day for that for me. That's why I like to have something cooking in the oven. I can make a lot of it, for example, in the oven slash and or slow cooker, make a bunch of it in advance and have it ready for the week. Again, advanced planning. When I come back, like back in the day, especially after traveling, on the subways and the buses, you're tired. And that's after working. Just even getting home could be a battle in and of itself. So just imagine a tiring commute and then coming home only to face chopping, dicing, and all. Well, some people find that relaxing, and then that's absolutely wonderful. But I didn't because I had to correct test papers. In my case, I took some of my paperwork home with me because I rather had concentrated on the content that I was teaching. So instead of doing all that paperwork at my desk during the day, which is nothing wrong with that, a lot of people do that, but I rather had concentrated better and took some of my paperwork home with me or creating lesson plans. So imagine my work was taking home, I've taken my work home with me, excuse me, and then to have to plan dinner and everything. I rather had planned the dinner, which I did faithfully on weekends. It's just a better idea to be prepared. Let me ask you a question, just curious, just curious. When you used to work outside of your home, did you have your outfits pre-planned like the weekend before, or at the very least the night before? Or did you just like get up and just take it as as you happen to wear it, which is nothing wrong with that if you're like, not commuting too far and if you can make up your mind quickly. But sometimes some people, don't make up their mind quickly and it takes up a lot of time. I'm just curious about the preparation style. Do you agree that isn't it better to be on the side of caution? If you're going to error, my vote is to error on the side of caution, especially with groceries. You're going to eat anyway. Let's think about this for a second. Aren't we going to eat anyway? Let's say nothing bad happened, which is the goal. Yay, we're happy for that. So you have a stockpile, but you have it there for convenience. Look at it that way. That's why I cannot understand the logic or the illogic of not thinking that at least a month to two stockpile is a necessary thing. In my honest opinion, it is a necessary thing. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Well, till the next time, have an amazing, fantastic day, and you take good care.